You know, it's crazy starting an amateur boxing career at 39. Right? Like it's totally backwards, right? It's like you said, you started when you were 15 or younger, right? Look at all the kids you train, like they're young.
5, 7, yeah.
Yeah, like totally backwards for me, right? But I'll be honest, I had a lot of fear. I was scared, right? So like I always wanted to say go pro, right? Like that was always a dream of mine, go pro, fight in Japan. Like I had this big dream, but I was too scared to actually like go for it. We build stuff up in our head so much. But the funny thing is I walk in there and there's all these young guys. I'm clearly the oldest guy in there. Right? By probably what, like 15 to 20 years? I walk in there and everyone's staring at me. I totally feel awkward, out of place. So they match me up right there and they just start calling me the viejo. They're like, I was in the back warming up. They're like, go get viejo. I always constantly have to remind myself what I'm fighting for as a fighter. Like, I feel like that's important. You have to know who and what you're fighting for. Right? Because why get in the ring, right? You just don't get in there to get in there. Like, you could get hurt, right? So, you know what? He was okay after the knockdown, the knockout. I went and gave him a big hug. I went and apologized to his family. I said, I'm sorry, you know.
I wanted to make it quick for you guys, so I took him out in the second round.
It is what it is, though.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
I was working in Southgate at another gym facility, and then that's when I had Lennon Sosa. I was only like 10 years old, 11 years old, you know? Happens he was a kid. I remember that. I was at the gym and I seen this kid, and he was doing a jiu-jitsu
guy.
Like you, huh?
Yeah, he was doing jiu-jitsu,
Who
man.
said jiu-jitsu guys don't have hands? Let's go, dude.
And then Chino too,
And
Chino Estrada, you know, he was doing jiu-jitsu too, you know? I'm like, so I had them in my team, you know, so I told him, hey, you guys, come try boxing. All right, cool, whatever. And after a while, they didn't like boxing, but then after a while, I started showing them, and they liked it, bro. They're like, all right, well, you guys come to my class after you jiu-jitsu. An hour there, you come to my class for an hour. All right, coach, all right. And then all of a sudden, they told their friends about the boxing. Man, I had over 30, 40 kids at one time, you know? Out of all those 30, 40 kids, when I was there for a while, I got hired for the Parks and Recreation, and for Lincoln Heights, and they were looking for a coach. The word got around, hey, we know a great coach, Flaco, do. They called me, hey, can you get fingerprinting? You want to start working for us? I said, you know what? Yeah, let me try it. I brought these kids with me from Southgate. I told them, you know what? I got a city gig. I'm going to end up going to Lincoln Heights. Whoever wants to follow me, guys.
Right.
Man, I had about 15, 18 kids following me, man.
That's great.
And that's where they're at right now, and then we're just making it happen.
So what do you? Oh, go for it.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so what do you think? You know, there's this stigma in boxing. You know, like I was trying to get my son into boxing. And, you know, you get these parents that are just like, oh man, like they're gonna be getting hit in the head and safety and blah 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 blah. What does boxing do to the youth? And because it's not about throwing punches, it's not about getting hit in the head. So if you have a parent come up to you and say, Flaco, oh, it's a dangerous sport. Like, what is like your response to that?
It's discipline, man. It's discipline. It's like I said, there's a lot of bullying out there, man. Bullying and obese. A lot of these kids, man, they're eating Takis and hot Cheetos and Gatorade, just sugar, just, you know, it's a lot of these kids that they're out of shape. Not only that, they not even know how to do a jumping jack. Because I don't know what these schools, like the PE teachers are teaching them now, you know?
Right.
A jumping jack, a push-up, they can't even do 2 push-ups. They can't do it, and they're out of breath. You know, bring your kids so we can show them how to defend themselves or lose weight, get in shape, you know, and you never know.
Yeah.
They love the sport. They're gonna stick to it and just, you know, become an Olympic hopeful.
I think it's one of the best things you could do for your child. You know, I teach jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah.
I've done the kids classes, but I just don't have the patience for it. But recently, I had a good friend of mine who, you know, he's like, hey, my son wants to try jiu-jitsu. He's 8. I was like, take him down to the gym. They got him all squared away. And he's like, yo, within 3 weeks, he's like, I've seen my son's confidence grow. You know, it's like real life problem solving. Whether you're on the mat or the ring, confronted with an issue, with a problem that's usually another person, right? And you have to deal with it, right? It's like complex problem solving at the highest level, you know, and just whether it's boxing or traditional martial arts, it gives them a sense of discipline, like you said, a sense of physical, you know,
respect, you know,
right? Respecting their body, you know.
You know, yeah. A lot of the parents can't. You know, a lot of parents bring their kids. I remember there's that one dad came out drunk one time and he brought his kid. Dad, show my kid some discipline. Show him how to fight. You know, like, man, you know, Dad, that's really your job, you know, to show your kid discipline. But I said, I'll bring him in, you know, that's fine. And then he just, we got him in there and, you know, just showing him, you know, he wanted to go join a gang, you know, like, that's not the way to go, champ. I told him, you know, just come over here. And this guy became a great fighter too. But what happened in the long run, the streets got him again. And, you know, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, because I feel like being in the gym, you definitely develop a different type of family. Like, you know, like the gangs, some of these kids, they go because they're looking for other family members or someone to like that can relate. Yes, for protection.
Validation.
A higher, a father figure, a brother. They're looking for, you know, and they don't have it, so they join a gang. You know, so when you go to the gym, it's like you said, man, it's just a different family, man.
Yeah, definitely.
They're loved, you know, and I love the city because the city, man, they do a lot for the kids, man. They help out the kids a lot, you know, and you know, and so this is where I'm at right now, you know, and Spencer right here, we're ready to take another belt pretty soon too.
Beautiful.
Nice.
1 year. Let's do it.
All right, Spencer.
Yeah, definitely let us know because I would like to go see you fight. Definitely, Spencer. Would love to go to one of your fights.
Yeah, bro. And then I want to piggyback and ask you the same question. What, you know, what is boxing? How has boxing helped you, and what does it mean to you?
Wow. I mean, it's helped me. You know, I've had a lot of demons in my life, like internal.
We all have, man. We all. I think all of us here can, literally can say.
Interior monologue. That's like that never shuts up. You're just like, oh, you know. So it allows me to deal with that, you know, like allows me to deal with my demons, man. I go in there and I don't see. Obviously, I see my opponent, but it's more about me. Like, I'm going to be the reason why I lose today. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
yes.
That self-doubt creeps in. You know, we won when we won this belt recently. I took the guy out the second round, and I'm laying in the hotel bed that night. I injured my hand a little bit. I injured my shoulder, and I'm like, full of fear. Oh man, I got to do this tomorrow. And then I just said, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not do it? You know what I mean? It's like
we gotta fight through our pain.
You gotta, man. It's for me. It's like the boxing is of years of turmoil and darkness in my life, and boxing's or martial arts, whatever, has been the light. You know, it's like my calling. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a gift. Like Flaco, he has a gift that God gave him that he shares with me and the rest of the kids or the community. And I feel the same way. Like he's giving me a gift, and it's you know, I want to share it with the world. You know, I want to share it with my family, my fiance. I want to show them what I can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And overcome these internal struggles and put it all on the line. And if I lose, it's okay. If I win, great. If I lose, it's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, I was used to losing for years. I think that's another thing. It's like I was finally sick of losing, man. I'm like, I ain't gonna lose anymore.
I need a W. I need a W.
You know what, bro? I feel you because I told myself probably this year because the coach that I was coaching at or was training me at the gym at the right there on the Lincoln Heights or whatever, he just moved out there to Whittier, so he opened up his own gym.
Okay.
So I told myself because my last couple fights I lost, so like you, bro, I'm like. I want to win. I want to know what it's like to win one fight. Give me one. I just wanted one. You know, I'll lose 99 fights, but if I can win that one fight,
you're good.
I'm good. I can hang it up.
Maybe you won't show up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing, MJ.
But so we're gonna sidestep from we're gonna pivot from the boxing and we're gonna talk about the sobriety. Because I heard. You guys both say sobriety. So I know that's a tough one that a lot of us have faced, you know, at one point of our lives. You know, I can contest I was into dope and alcohol, you name it, man.
Yeah.
So can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like, if you guys don't mind sharing.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe we'll start with you. What were you struggling with, or how did that start? How did that start? Like, as far as your addiction?
It started, man. It's, you know, it runs in the family, man. Alcohol, man. You know, it's grandfather, great grandfather, my dad. My dad passed away at an early age, 52, 53 years old. Cirrhosis, you know, and it just, you know, like, you know, the raza, Mexican, we go to a baby shower, we go, anything, they're always drinking. Whenever you go, a party, we drink. And as a kid growing up, I thought it was, you know, cool. Normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and so I started young, man. Maybe like 14 years old, but just here, beer there, you know, and then it just led on. And then as I got older, I just took it, you know, to another level, you know, just pass out drinker, you know. Oof. Drinking the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Was it more because was there any issues going on in your life at the time, or is it just more you're just having fun and just like whatever?
It was fun to begin with, you know, but then after a while it just got cloudy and numb, and, you know, the death of family members and stuff, like just excuses, man.
Yeah,
you know, just excuses. But you know, and I'm gonna be in April next year. In April, I'll be 6 years sober.
Nice.
And that's the best thing that ever happened to me, man. Just to be sober, you know. I had a spiritual awakening. It was great, and here I am, you know, making it happen.
That's great. That's great to hear. How about yourself, Spencer? What kind of demons were you fighting?
I mean, same like Flaco. I don't know if it's hereditary. But
It is. You know what? They actually did studies, bro, and they were saying addiction, any sort of addiction, it's hereditary, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it runs. Luckily, I don't have mental illness that I don't know of or think of yet. Maybe I do. I'm a little off. Right?
We all are.
On my mom's side, there wasn't really any addiction, just mental illness, and then on my dad's side, though, it was rampant. You know, I've heard stories about my grandpa being an alcoholic. He died at 49, and then I have these are my dad's brothers. Another uncle, he's been sober for 30 years now, so he was an alcoholic. I had another uncle pass away recently at 70. At 70 from still slamming dope, you know, like at 70. He was a real one, you know. It's funny because my dad was really upset about it. And I was like, Dad, like, if we look at a silver lining here, like, he died doing what he loved to do.
Dude, and he died at 70.
70, like,
He was
that's
in
unheard of.
pain, you know. Unfortunately, it was like, you know, all that fentanyl now.
Yeah,
that fenty dope that he was messing with. So, but anyways, it trickled down to me because my dad's not an alcoholic. My brother's sober, you know, so it's like the gene is somewhere, I feel like. So I don't know whether I was born or what, but I know early on I had all these feelings of not being good enough. It's like, you know, and the only thing that made me feel better was drinking. Yeah. And I remember the first time I drank was in a big beer bong.
Yeah.
Steel Reserve.
Steel Reserve 3.
Oh, damn.
That's tough.
With my cholo cousins. And then they passed me the Lenio real quick. And then next thing you know, everything was spinning. But I knew in that moment, that was like I was in 5th grade, I think. And there was a lot of turmoil at home. My parents split, and my dad wasn't really around, and my mom worked all the time to take care of me and my brother. So I was kind of just
on her own. Yeah.
And I just remember the feeling of like, I really like this. Like I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I always had a problem not being comfortable in my own skin, man.
Can I say, do you guys have an addictive personality?
Oh, totally.
All right.
Like boxing and this fighting is a way of
It's an addiction. Yeah.
addiction,
Well
you
put.
know? Same with the acting too. It's like it gives me that
high.
Yeah.
And
So we
then-
gotta stay active all the time, you know. I get up in the morning, run 2 miles, a mile and a half every morning, you know. I bike ride. I gotta stay active.
I you know what? I agree. I agree with that. I think that's the reason why we turn into something because we just have too much time in our hands,
Too
bro.
much, you know?
And it's not healthy.
It's not.
You know,
Yeah.
like when you're just in your head and you're bored, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go have a beer.
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
Go, yeah.
Right.
But
Just one. I'm gonna have just
just
one.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. I'm
just
not
one
tired,
time.
just
Yeah,
one.
all right, one more and I'll be
By
good.
the lie.
Yeah.
By the lie.
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, I'm sorry. Continue. So you're
Oh yeah, so I just kind of progressed, like I guess that any kid would, right? Like you work your way up the ranks: alcohol, marijuana, psychedelics, and then I had a bad accident when I was a senior in high school, and I broke my leg really bad, and I almost had my foot amputated.
Man.
My foot was turned all the way around, right?
was it because of party, or because
I was getting drunk, skateboarding in a quarter pipe in someone's backyard.
Oh.
And attempted to do something stupid, and next thing you know, everyone's like, "Oh!" And I look, and my foot is completely, my toes are where my heels were. My heel
Oh,
was-
man.
And yeah, it was bad.
How much of that did you feel? Or
You know what's funny? It was like shock, because everyone was like, I remember I tried to walk and I fell right on my face. Why'd I fall on my face? And then I turned around and picked up my leg, and everyone was like, oh. And then shock kicked in. So it wasn't so much pain. I was like in shock. But then when the ambulance came and picked me up, I was in pain. And I was like, yo, you got to give me some pain meds. And they wouldn't give me pain meds. And finally, when I got to the hospital, but yeah, I was drunk. I was drunk at the time when it happened. But that really took me to a low level because I was young. I couldn't walk. You ever broke your leg? It's like the worst. Like, leg injury is bad. You're showering in a lawn chair or on the floor with balls on the drain, and you got a trash bag over your cast, and it's just like demoralizing. Man.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, "Hey, have you ever tried this?" And it was methamphetamine. And I was like, "No." Smoke it out of a glass bulb or whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, good idea, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I hit it, and that was all she wrote. Dude.
Yeah.
That was about all she wrote. And, that was my first time really struggling with addiction at a young age. I was 17. I don't think I was 18 yet. And my parents had split. The minute I turned 18, my mom kicked me out because I was getting in some trouble. I was in juvenile hall, and my mom's like, you got to go with your dad, who I hated at the time. Like, we didn't really have a relationship, and he moved to Ventura, California. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's like a small little kind of town. And you know, I like being a drug addict, I sniffed out other drug addicts and hanging out with lower companionship. So that was like my first stint going into a rehab, you know, at a young age for methamphetamine. And then I was dry. I want to say I was dry for like 3 years. I was living in a halfway house in Pasadena at the time.
Oh, is it the what's the name of that program? Oh my God, I'm spacing out. Going.
It was called the Oxford House. I can't remember. It was right up off Woodbury in Montana by the KFC. There's the halfway houses up there. Anyways. I did good for 3 years. Like, I was doing okay, you know, and then again, I bought the lie again. I was like, you know what? I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just a drug addict. So I bought the lie, and then I was off and running again for 10, 11 years again.
That's crazy, huh?
And
How deep we go, bro. Like, fuck.
And it was like, I remember the first day I drank, man. It was like, even though I had that 3 years of dry time, because I wasn't going to meetings, I didn't believe in AA, I didn't believe in the program. I thought it was weird, you know. Like, these people, I don't know, these people are weird.
Yeah, because you're like, you try to compare, like, I'm not them. Like, this guy's going up and telling me he lost his wife, he lost this, and like, I didn't lose any of that, bro.
I'm not good.
I was totally looking at the differences, you know, and not looking at the similarities. And so, yeah, I went out again, you know, and it was like, I literally, that night I drank, after 3 years, was like, right where I left off, I picked up.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like one beer and I was drunk. No, I got wasted. You know what I mean? And that felt good. You know, and I bought that lie for another 10, 11 years, you know?
Yeah.
Until I ended up in a mental hospital, man. Like a legit mental hospital.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question to both of you.
But it's also like when you're going through something or whatever you're involved in, you start attracting that energy, those type of people, and like they just start coming in from nowhere. It's like, wait, how did I even meet you? And now we're partying, and I'm in this house. I don't even know how I got here. Right. And it's just, you know, the surroundings. You know, you're a product of your environment. You know, so that's definitely tough. I'm glad you guys persevered again.
Yeah. So what was the straw that brought the camel's back for the both of you? I'm gonna ask you first, Flaco.
I lost my job. I had a job working for a dealership for maybe 15 years, 16 years, man. And my wife was already tired of me, kicking me out, bringing me back, sleeping in my car. Lost my job that I had for 15 years. I said, I need help. So I went to AA, found a sponsor. And he helped me out. Come to meetings. Started going to meetings. Alcoholics Anonymous, and I go to meetings every Sunday. I try to go to meetings during the week if I have time, but Sundays for sure. You know, and it's helping me out. I'm gonna be 6 years sober, and during those whole 6 years, man, I have my wife back, and my wife was back with me, you know, in my life, and she's loving it. My kids are loving it, and it's just amazing, man. God has plans for me now, a lot. Yes. He has a lot of plans for me, and I tell him, slow down. It's no. You can't slow down, bro. You slow down, you're gonna come back to your addiction. I know it. It's so easy, man. It's so tempting.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, do you ever get that itch? Like,
all the time, you know.
What triggers it? Like, if you don't mind me asking, what's something that I don't know, like, what's something you're just like, oh, like
anything is hot. I feel like drinking a cold Blue Moon. It's you know, just one, but I can't drink one. I'm not the type that can say, you know what, I just want one.
Yeah, conservative drink.
I had a long day. I deserve myself one beer. Bro, once you get that little tingle, once that little, that little buzz, you don't want it to go away. And then guess what? The next day you just, where am I?
Yep.
You know, where did I park my car? You know, did I hit anything? You know, it's like, you know, it's now it's just amazing, man. Just God has plans for me, man. Every day He tells me there's something to do, you know. And then, like I said, now that I've been sober, great people are in my life now, man. Great people, and just like I said, making it happen. I don't ever want to go back to drinking again. Never.
Did you get a little itchy in Vegas? When we were in Vegas?
My legs
he was in the slot machine, bro.
We were out to dinner one night, and my lady ordered a margarita, and I seen him look at it, man.
I'll take a virgin margarita. Let me imagine, bro.
And then I call you 20 minutes. Are you back in your room? Are you all right?
Yeah.
So, no, I got a Shirley Temple.
I'm right there gambling now.
It's like that movie. Ever watched The Warrior?
The Warrior, no.
That mixed martial arts movie.
Right.
I remember
the two brothers.
Yeah, and then the dad doesn't drink no more. He's sober. Then at the end of the movie, the son talks smack to him, and he's training him. And then the dad ends up grabbing the booze and he ends up relapsing. You know.
Yeah, the relapse.
How about you, bro? What was something, or what was your?
There was a few things, you know. I got into a really dark place at the end, you know. This was 7 years ago, like 2000. What is that? 17. 2017, right? I got in a really dark place. I was in a really bad spot, you know, desperate financially, doing things out there in the streets I shouldn't have been doing with people that I shouldn't have been hanging with, you know. And I'm not like a gang member or anything, but being a drug addict, you build some affiliations and you're rolling with different dudes, doing different things and getting into stuff you don't have any business getting into, you know. And so that was really weighing down on me, like just morally, you know. There's some morality things going on in my life that just weren't sitting well with me internally, you know. And on top of like, I had this overwhelming feeling I was gonna die, man. I just felt it, like it was like hovering. over me, you know, and I was very suicidal. I'd never been a suicidal, you know, or have those ideations, and I just wanted out, man. And sure enough, by the grace of God, I OD'd, man. I OD'd, and luckily a loved one found me, you know, and I was physically okay, but you know, mentally and emotionally and spiritually, I was just shot out, and I ended up after that OD in a mental institution, like a real one, you know, with people that were really severely mentally ill, and I'm sitting there like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like,
What am I doing here?
I'm a drug addict, but I wouldn't admit it, man. Like, and this institution I was at had a little drug rehab inside of it, and they're like, all you gotta do is say the words, bro, and we'll take you down there. And I couldn't do it for like 3 days. I just could not do it. Just sitting there with people pacing and like playing with their poop, like it was real, man. And I just could not accept the fact that I had a problem. And then finally, I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here, or I'm gonna lose it. So I said the magic words. They let me out to the Briar program, and I was so angry, man. I was like treating my room in rehab like a jail cell, bro. Like, don't touch my stuff. You stay over there, you know, like flexing on everybody, and I was so angry, man. And then finally, I'm like, I just had to accept the fact, like I punched my ticket, like it's over, but I didn't. I still had that little bit of ego left, and I ended up causing some problems at the institution, and I took off. And
You AWOL?
I AWOL, and I ended up getting back to my apartment at the time because I knew I had dope there. And my mom, you know, they set the alarm. They had called my mom, and she showed up at the apartment, and I had some dope in the carport, right? And I'm like, okay, I got to get my pad now, though. So I didn't have a key. So I scaled this tree 3 stories to get in my window. And my landlord, who knew me very well,
Peeks out the window. You're like,
he
what are you
screwed
doing?
a screw into the window.
That's a long
So
drop.
I couldn't open the window, and so I was all tweaked out in this tree. And I looked down. I'm like, I can't get down. And then, sure enough, guess who walks around the corner? My mom. My mom walks around the corner, and she sees me in the tree, like a raccoon, sucked up, too black. I had a black. Actually, I did have a black eye. I got lit up a couple days before going into the cut under my eye, and like I was all sucked up and raccoon looking, and she looked up and just started crying, man. She like literally broke down weeping, you know, and that was it. God struck me in the head and was like, wake up, you know, like, I don't know, it was like you said, a spiritual awakening almost. Like, I realized years of turmoil. I put my mom, because my mom was always there. When I was in jail, at the courthouse, at the rehab, at the mental institution, who was always there no matter what? My mom. And to like really take in how I was affecting her, how I was like probably killing her, taking years off her life. She was up
Stress,
worried.
all the stress.
She would tell me, when you call me from the rehab or the mental institution, I know you're safe, you know, or that if you were in jail, I know you're safe.
She sleeps.
And that's when it really hit me, man. So I made my way down the tree, and I said, Mom, take me back to rehab. And then that was it, man. I went back and I stayed. You know, they don't give you many days anymore with insurance. So like, I had a little bit of money saved. So I paid for extra days to be in this rehab because I really wanted to learn what was killing me, man. Like why I was killing myself, you know, and I did like 40 something days in this rehab and got out. Anything they told me I did. I went to another halfway house in Highland Park. I stayed there for 3 years, got my life together, and here we are now. You know, it's like
comeback story, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Comeback story. That should give me chills just hearing your story, dog.
I met my fiance too, like in you know, in recovery. and we help each other. You know, we support each other, and it's all by the grace of God, man, by a higher power. Because it ain't my plan, dude.
Yeah.
My plan ended me up in the mental
Cuckoo house.
institute. Yeah.
So I got a question for both you guys. So what do you guys feel that was your biggest fight? Whether it was, you know, addiction or in the ring, mentally, inside, you know, spiritually, what do you guys feel was your biggest, hardest fight that you know, overcame?
I mean, for me, it'd be the addiction to, you know, meth and crack and the uppers, man, because that gave me such a feeling of up at one point that I was constantly chasing it over and over again. So it's like, and it was hard, man. Early sobriety was hard. Like even now, like sometimes I see a drink and I'm like, ooh, that looks good, you know. But you know, I don't buy the lie anymore. But but those early years of even like the first 6 months of sobriety, man, I just want to blow my brains out. Every day I was like, I'll be driving on the 110. Let me just do this off into the ravine real quick, you know. Or I had a Glock in my storage unit. Let me go to my storage unit and fucking just. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but you just get it over with, you know. So I really had to. So now when I enter the ring, it's not. I feel like it's not even comparable to that situation.
Yeah, bro.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I wanted to take my own life for a long time, and it was really hard. Like I feel like some days I was that close, you know, and I think. I wouldn't talk about it either. You know, I've heard different things about suicide, and like if someone's talking about it, they really don't mean it. You know, they're just like venting, like. Yeah. But I was like, everything was inside. I was depressed. I was sleeping hours every day.
Yeah.
I'd wake up at noon, stay up for 2 hours, and sleep again. And you know, it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's depression.
It was a real struggle, man, just to get up in the morning and like brush my teeth. You know what I mean?
You know, the hardest thing too is just admitting that you got a problem. Just admitting.
Yeah.
That's the first step in the 12 steps. Admit you got a problem. Once you admit, like you said, they let you go.
Yeah.
You know, once you admit you got a problem, and from then on, you tell yourself, you know, I do got a problem. Now what's next? What's next? You know, I need help. That's what
I was gonna ask you was, what was your guys' steps to sobriety? And everybody's step is different. You know, the first one is you acknowledge, hey, I have a problem.
Yeah.
So can you talk us through what were your steps like?
I have a problem. I need to, you know, stop doing what I'm doing because I'm hurting myself. I'm hurting my family. I'm hurting everybody. You know, my dad died my mom tells me, your dad, you're going to die just like your dad. We're going to be walking around. Everybody's going through the funeral, your casket. They're going to say, look, he died como tu papá, igualito a su padre. Do you want them to, you know, to say, I'm going to be dead, so I don't care. Like, see what I mean? But she's just like, yeah, you're going to die just like your dad. I'm alcoholic. Fuck. You know, and you pass it on, you know, you pass it on. Your kids, you pass it on to your kids. And you can't be a hypocrite too, you know. Oh, you're telling your kids, you know,
don't
you
drink,
can't
don't party, don't do this.
Fuck that, really? You're telling me this? You know, my son's a rock star, man. My son's a musician, bro. So, and now he's 2 months sober right now, man.
Well, good for him.
He's making it happen. This guy, you know, he tours and he, you know, and can you imagine his life?
I know. It's lifestyle too. You know?
This guy plays guitar. He sings. He's making it happen too. And I'm so proud of him, man. And Dad, no, I'm proud of you, Dad. You know, and we're proud of each other. You know, we're helping each other out, and he's just something else, man. And my family keeps me going. My son, my daughters, they keep me going. Boxing, my other kids, I call my kids too at the gym. They keep me going, man. They keep me sober. It's amazing, man, how God works.
How about you, Spencer? What's been like your steps for sobriety?
You know, I took the traditional route, you know, early on, you know, rehab, halfway house, meeting, sponsor, you know, stay in the pack, the middle of the pack, you know, make friends and get numbers. And I did that for a long time, sponsoring guys, you know, like I think the biggest thing for me is I had to learn that by nature, I'm like selfish. I'm very selfish and self-centered and self-seeking, right? So I need to get out of myself by being of service to others, you know? So,
That's right.
so whether, like early on, it was just I'd go to the Salvation Army, right? And I'd sponsor like 6 guys, right?
Nice.
And they, you know, they were there to do their 90-day bid and get out. They didn't really give a, you know.
They weren't taking it serious.
Yeah, they weren't really there to, I mean, maybe so, I can't speak
Some
for
of them,
everybody.
yeah.
But the guys I sponsored, they were just counting down the days, you know, but it didn't matter, man, because I showed up every Saturday for like 4 hours. I'd be there, guy after guy, going through the big book, going through the steps, you know, and what that showed me was whether it's being service to someone in the program or a stranger or a friend or a family member, that's the feeling of like, okay, you know, like this is what I'm here to do. So that's the approach I take. I still go to meetings. I don't go as much anymore, you know, but like all my friends, all my boys are in the program.
Yeah.
I don't have one friend that like does hard drugs or like is a normie almost.
Yeah.
It's like you like my coach. He's not a normie. He's just like me.
That's
you know,
it.
it's like.
That's it.
So I have a network of guys I can call every day, and I talk to almost every day. It's like, how you doing? Let's check in on each other.
That's good.
You know, so there's that aspect, and also there's so many different ways to be of service. You know, like when I teach jujitsu or boxing, like I'm taking the craft that I love, and I want to give it back to someone else because, you know, like I said, I feel like how God gave him a gift to be a coach and he's helping me, I pay that forward too with my experience with the martial arts or boxing. So it's like, so every day I pray, man, I get up, put me in a position to be of service.
That's it.
You know, let me help someone today because I know that's going to help me get out of here and hopefully help someone in some regard, you know?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
So I'm taking more of like a, I guess, I don't want to say religious, but spiritual approach to my recovery,
Right.
you know? And everyone's recovery is different, right?
Yeah,
Like
everybody's doing some are cold turkeys, you know, like they can do cold turkey. I got an uncle that's over 18 years and he's never been to a meeting. He just did it because he wanted to.
Himself, yeah.
He's a musician too. He just did it. He said he was tired of partying. He was tired of doing lines, free beer, girls, all that. He was tired of it. You get tired of being tired.
Yeah.
So he did a cold turkey, and he's like, mijo, if AA helps you, a sponsor helps you, then do it. Whatever helps you. He's proud of me too, you know. I mean, it feels good, man. It's, you know.
That's good. Wow.
Yeah. So, how does it feel now being sober? How long you say you've been sober for?
5.5. I'll be 6 years in April.
Going to be 6?
I had 5 and then had a slip.
Yeah.
So when we met, I didn't have my slip yet.
I remember.
So right now I have 2 years.
2 years. So how do you guys feel?
Like a champ. I feel great, man. I'm telling you, like I said, I'm sober and because I had a spiritual awakening and I don't want to relapse again. I don't want to start over again. Why start over again if it's good right now? I got it good, champ. I got it great right now, man. And I'm in a position that I cannot fail. I'm in a test right now, and I can't fail that test, you know.
Yeah.
My wife tells me, "Damn, I can see it glowing, dude. I can see how different you are, how the way you act, the way you talk, the way you smile, the way everything." She tells me, like, shit, really?
She's probably more in love with you.
Oh, you know, she's toxic right now.
The moment she sees you, she's like, "Ay, papicito."
Toxic.
Right? Happy wife, happy
Oh,
life.
man. You know, I'm toxic for her too, man, because you know, we both been there, done that, and she's
High school sweethearts.
high school, yeah. Actually, she's my
Yeah.
junior high, and I've been with her for 30 years, man.
Yeah, man.
Wow,
30
wow.
years.
That's
goes.
That's gold
That's
right
awesome.
there.
That goes,
Yeah,
right?
You know,
No,
my oldest
definitely.
kid is probably older than you. I have a 33-year-old kid. I have a 33-year-old girl. Then I have a 29, and then my son's 25. You know,
Okay.
and like I said, man, because of them, you know, they saw me too going through. I put them through some shit too. You know, I put them through some stuff, and I know it. You know, and I know, but I don't know. I don't know if they forgave me because I know some of them still they don't want to talk. They want to talk. They act shady, this and that. But you know what? Just give it time. Time
Yeah.
will heal.
Yeah.
Time will heal. That's
Definitely.
it. That's it.
How about you, brother? Like,
Yeah, you know, it's funny because you know, I got sober in 2017, right? And I had a good 5 years, man, like solid 5 years under my belt. And I remember when I came back, right? I just, for whatever reason, man, I kind of stopped going to meetings. My sponsor moved, right? And I was like kind of in this transition period with my recovery. And I went out, and it's funny because this is when my brother was still drinking, right? And me and my brother, our relationship was built on getting trashed together, right? So when I got sober, the dynamic kind of changed. Right?
Yeah.
Like we weren't as close as we used to be. And so I flew out. He lives in New York. He's a musician. So I flew out.
got a lot of musicians over here.
It is.
I flew out to New York, no intentions of doing anything. I'm a sober guy, right? I get out there, we go to our first dinner together, and like there's just, I don't know if it's tension between him and I, but there was like tension, you know, and I felt like I did when I was a kid again, just like so uncomfortable in my skin. And we're all sitting there eating dinner, and like the selfish, self-centered guy I am, I just immediately go, I'm ordering a drink. I don't want anyone to give me any, crap about anything. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, dude. Like, you should have just ordered a drink. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make a big.
You have to announce it. You got on top of the table. Okay, everybody.
My fiance was kind of like, oh no, and then I had one drink with dinner, and I was like, yeah, you know what? This ain't bad, right?
Let me ask you, was it a mixed drink or was it a beer?
No, it was a mixed drink. It was
It was
I don't even know. It was like I was trying to be cool. I ordered like a martini or something stupid. I've never drank one.
Pinky.
I was a low bottom drinker. I was like Tito's vodka. That's all I needed.
You went from doing a beer bong of
Still reserve.
Now you got a little more money in your pocket. Let me get a martini.
I don't know what I was thinking, dude. Anyways, that was the first day. The second day, we went to a Rangers game, the hockey, and I had a couple tall cans, right? And all right, nothing, no big deal. I'm okay. I'm not even like really that much of a head change, you know what I mean? But then his birthday was the next day, and now my brother he was a heavy drinker. Like he was a old school alcoholic, no drugs, just cigarettes
and alcohol
booze all day.
Yeah.
So we met up at noon on his birthday, and we drank until 2 a.m.
From noon all
the way. And I remember I had just started drinking again like 2 days ago, but I was in it. But the old mindset started coming back, and I was in the bar like, who's got blow? My girl could see me getting weird, and she started getting upset, and I'm like, nah, it's
I'm
fine,
good. I'm
fine.
good. Yeah.
We got home that night. I had the worst hangover I'd ever had in my life, and it was pathetic, man. Like I was laying on the bathroom floor, butt naked, dry heaving, like, and it ended there, right? I came back from New York, and I was like, what just happened? Like I was Mr. AA, Mr. Sobriety, and in the blink of an eye, it happened, and I was a real ashamed of myself, like I had, I don't know. It was like I was so ashamed of myself that I couldn't go to meetings, man. I couldn't even look people in the face, I couldn't admit it that I had this lapse.
I saw you at the gym, and I noticed.
He was the first guy I told, and this was months later because it had been eating me up on the inside, just eating me up, like. And I told him, Coach, I messed up, man. I don't remember what your response was, but it was great. Like, he didn't beat me down. He didn't call me an F up or like I had been called my whole life. He was just like, I don't know what you said, but it was like comforting. It was like, okay, it's time to save my butt again and not my face. So I went to a meeting. And I said, hey, I messed up. I've been lying to y'all. I told you I had 7 years at this point, or 5 years, and
good. You admitted it.
And they admitted it. And then I was like, oh my God, that weight was off my chest, man. And so now I have 2 years You know,
Nice.
alcohol free for 2 years now, and I'm never going back, man. You know, I think God for whatever reason, God had something to show me that
That's
night.
it.
You know, and I saw it for what it was,
Yeah.
and the obsession's been removed again. Like like I said, sometimes I'll see a drink and I'll be like, oh man, that looks good, but it's just a fleeting thought. You know, like the urge to actually act on it is no longer there. You know, and
Because we don't know how to drink.
I've never been a normal drinker, man.
No,
I've always gotten
right.
drunk to suppress my feelings and black out and get drunk, and
You know?
I'm not a normal guy when it comes to that.
Like
you know?
for me, I just like the taste, bro. I like the taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
I just like the feeling that it gives me. I don't like to get drunk. I just like to get that good buzz,
Buzz, yeah.
and then that's it, you know.
Very good.
So that's.
So you
You're
can have
normie, dude.
Yeah.
You're normie.
I mean, I guess, but I have my ups and my
Yeah,
downs.
same,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, it is. When you're drinking kind of like every day, and
Oh, yeah.
even though it's a beer, and you're just like, but it's just one beer.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a lot.
It's
For every day.
but
Yeah.
you're doing it every day for fuck since I was in my 20s, and I'm 37 now. You know, that's a long time, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, same. And over here, like I've managed to learn how to control my drinking, but before I didn't know how to do that. So I was drinking, I was blacking out,
Yes.
I was disrespecting people. I was, you know, I would call my wife out of her name. You know what I mean? I was in a bad spot. I was showing this to my kids. You know what I mean? I was arguing in front of them, and then I was losing my family, and it was just like, all right, now it's time to like, hey, I got to get it under control. You know, and I haven't drank a beer, you know, for going on 2 years.
Nice.
So, and I think I'm not very much of a liquor drinker. So I think like when I do a cheers, it's like 1 or 2 shots, or maybe a mixed drink, 1 or 2, you know, and then that's where I need to like, okay, I'm good.
Very good.
I'm chill, you know. But it's definitely it was definitely a blessing, you know, to see that I'm able to manage that, you know, because not many people are. It's a struggle, and everybody's struggle is different.
That's
Right.
it.
And honestly, man, I feel so confident talking amongst you guys,
Yes.
and you guys being so honest
Yeah.
with your sobriety, because like, man, like there are days where I struggle, and now like pretty much after this, I feel like man, there's this connection.
Yes.
Like honestly, with
Yeah.
you, I feel a lot connected towards you, brother. To be honest, I feel like I have a,
Nice.
I don't know, bro. Like I'm very similar
Right.
to you, bro. Like, and I see it, and so man, I really just thank you guys for just
For sure.
for sharing all of this, man. I think these are like important topics that like people need to be able to come out and just talk about it.
because that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
You hold it all in. You want to hold it in. You're embarrassed. You're ashamed. and-
Yeah, because people don't want to put their business out, and it's
Right.
not it's not about putting your business out there.
Right.
It has like, and that's where that's not the point.
Right.
The point is just being able to feel comfortable talking about
That's it.
Yes.
our mistakes
Right.
and where we're at now,
Right.
and not to be ashamed of who we were, because that's not who we are now.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's right.
And like you said, Coach Flaco, admitting, like really admitting to yourself, like, I need to fix something. This is wrong, and I need to fix it.
All right, so we're gonna be getting out of here shortly, but I want to ask you, kind of like one last, two more questions. You're acting.
Yeah.
What got you
Yeah.
like? What?
We gotta act.
Yeah. we got. So like you
Wait,
went.
and this isn't acting right here.
Yeah.
These
Yeah,
are
these
real.
are
battles.
real.
This is
Yeah.
not
These-
acting.
these are
This is
props.
movie.
They're
These
not
are-
props.
This is real. To get it straight.
Prop
But-
department.
but talk us through. Where can people see you at? I see that you're in the 311 video.
Yeah.
What was the name of the song?
Oh man, I just forgot it. I'm gonna have to look that up.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, I'm
We'll circle back to that.
definitely gonna put. I'm definitely gonna put it out
Fight.
there.
Yeah, fight. Right. It's called Fight. Is that right, Sergio? Fighting.
You can go ahead and say it, right? It's all
Sergio
good.
saw it actually.
Fighting. All right. 311 fighting. All
So
right.
that's out right now.
But what got you into it? How did that spark up?
So a friend of mine, this girl I used to work with, she was an actor, like a stage actor. And at the time, she was like, "Hey, yo, you got a great look, and I think you should try acting." And I'm like, I'd done a couple things, just like a music video for like, it was called "She Smashed the Homie" by Tom Green. Remember Tom Green? Remember there was, what was that show? Something New York. Wasn't there like a dating show with a girl named New York or something like that?
With Flavor Flav?
She was African
Flav,
chick.
Oh yeah.
Flavor of Love.
It was like something like that, right?
Yeah.
And there was two brothers on there that were on it, and then they did this movie with Tom Green. That's where the saying come from, or the saying came from. She smashed the homie.
Okay.
So that was my only acting experience, along with like I was in some rap video playing like a cop, but like it was nothing.
Yeah.
But to me, it was like, yo, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah,
like,
your photo shoots and all.
big time now, right? And so my friend was like, yo, I think you should try out this acting school. So I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. So I went. It's called Elizabeth Mesnick Acting Studio. And if you're interested in acting, I highly recommend you go check her out, because she's been my teacher now for years now. So this was 2012 when I went. Yeah, I had nothing going on in my life, you know, like, so I go in there, she makes me do like an interview, like, right? And she's like, she looks at my resume, she's like, "You're an actor?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I got She Smashed the Homie and this rap. She's like, "That's not acting," right? Long story short, she let me in. I ended up doing this theater conservatory with her for like 2.5 years, right? And graduating. So I was like, all right, maybe I'm okay at this acting stuff, you know? So now that's 2015. Well, I was exposed to the reality of the industry and how hard it is, and I had some small things here and there, but it's been a almost 11-year process now, 12-year process, right? To where I'm finally like booking and getting roles, you know. So you can catch me on Netflix right now on Your Honor, season 2. I'm on that.
All right.
And then I'll be coming out in Lincoln Lawyer on October 17th on Netflix too.
Oh yeah, that new show. Yeah. Okay, I remember the movie.
Right, it was a movie. That was a show, right?
With Matthew McConaughey.
So slowly but surely, man, again, I never gave up with my acting. No matter how bleak it seemed, I've been dropped by agents, fired by agents. Especially in the middle of my addiction, I've been told, "You're never gonna," I remember someone screamed at me one time, "You're never gonna work in this town again."
that old line, you know, like, oh, that dude gave me the line.
Done.
Damn, you're done.
You're an alcoholic, you know, piece of trash, you know, can't count on you, which was true at the time, right?
Right.
And then slowly but surely, as I got sober 7 years ago, or started my sobriety, I had to build my way back. I had to let people see I was accountable, that I'd show up on time. And then I started booking gigs again, and then started producing and creating my own content with a good friend of mine. We created a show called Spanky, a little 11 episodic.
That was good.
Right?
Yeah,
And put it in the film festivals, and it won a bunch of film festivals. I won Best Actor. So again, it's just like, I'm doing the footwork, whether it's the boxing or the acting, and I'm letting God take care of the results, man. I just keep chipping away at it, and I guess that's all I'm good at, boxing and acting. But I'll take it, man.
Hey, man, you're good at more than just those things, dog.
So yeah, that's been a blessing too. You know, like I said, everything going on in my life's a blessing. Whether it's the acting, the boxing, these relationships I have with people.
Yes.
You know, you guys asking me to do this podcast. It's just, it's all icing on the cake, man.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah, bro. Hey, and I can't thank you guys enough for just taking the time to come out and to speak with us, man. This was a lot, man. This
is deep, and that's like one of my like, because we're gonna get to the final thought, and that's what my final thought is you know, one, I appreciate you guys, you know, Flaco and Spencer, Sergio. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful that you guys are still here with us. You know what I mean? After everything you guys have been through in life, I'm grateful that you guys are, you know, now training like other people and, you know, bringing, sharing the experience, you know, with the people, because we need that, you know, and those are W's that are not recorded, you know, on your guys' record, you know, and that's amazing. And my final thought and / question is, what advice do you guys have for people that are on the same path or might be heading down the same path that you guys were in the past?
Man,
That's a good question.
Mm.
You know, I'd say no matter, you know, how dark or bleak it gets, you know, that's just a moment in your life. And life is too valuable to give up. So no matter how old you are, how broke down and busted you are, you can always rise up from it, man. Like both of our situations, man. My situation was looking bleak. I thought I was on my way out, you know, and here we are now.
Get
you
some
know?
help. Talk to somebody, man. There's people out there that want to help.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to help yourself. That's what it is. You know, just go out there. There's people that want to, you know, there's counselors, there's friends, there's people that care for you, but you don't think nobody cares, but we do, man.
Yeah.
Just go out there and admit and say, you know, you got a problem, or this is going on, or my kid's this, or my husband's this. Talk, you know, just let it out. Say it. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Don't hold it in. Let it out. Speak, man. Don't hold it in there, man. That's about it.
Yeah, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, man. There's always light.
You know?
And if I can do it, if he can do it, you can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
There's caring people out there, man. There's people, you know, that care out there. There's people that, but we can't read your mind. We can't see we can't, you know, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Let it out.
Yes.
Express it. Admit it. Say it. We'll get you help. That's it.
Awesome.
Hey man, my final thoughts is just, man, this was just such a blessing. It was such a blessing to be here with you guys. Man, I'm just in awe with just all your guys' stories, and I'm so humbled, and I really appreciate you guys, all the work that you guys are doing in your community. That shows good testament of who you men are, and it's not where you came from, it's where you're at now. And question, like, if there's any of these a younger audience member who's maybe lives in the Lincoln Heights, El Sereno area, where can they find this gym at? Is this something that you guys
Type in Lincoln Heights Youth Center, and or go on Instagram. Everybody's on their phone now. Everybody's social media.
Right.
It's in Lincoln Heights Youth Center, or you can type in Flaco, Flax Alvarez, and you can find me there.
Okay.
Right.
And how about you, Spencer? You were saying that you do personal training and stuff like that. So where can people find you if they're interested?
Yeah, so if you're interested in personal training or boxing lessons, I teach out of a boxing club called LAKO Boxing Club. And if you're interested in jiu-jitsu, I teach out of a jiu-jitsu gym in Eagle Rock called Eagle Rock Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. All right. Well, there you guys could find them. If you guys have any final thoughts to the audience or anything like that.
Just, you know, God bless you, and you know what's one day at a time. If you're struggling with addiction, you're struggling with something, one day at a time. You know. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for having us, man. This has been a really cool experience.
That was great.
We're both very grateful for you guys to ask us to come out. And yeah, if you're struggling, ask for help, put your hand out. It's okay. Don't be ashamed, you know. And if I can do it, then you can do it too, you know.
Right. No, definitely. And if you guys have anybody else that, you know, would feel comfortable sharing, you know, send them our way. We'll definitely be happy to have them on. Or we're definitely looking forward to having you guys back if you guys are willing. You know, great stories.
Love to come back.
Yeah, we
So
definitely
that'd
want
be
to
amazing.
follow up, bro.
Yes,
we
for
want
sure.
to do. We definitely want to do a follow up.
Yeah, and then when you're ready, when you're gonna have your next fight, please let us know, because we like to show up and show our support.
Yeah, we were looking
Definitely.
at late November. We haven't haven't gotten the word yet, but yeah, we're
Okay.
trying to get that third belt, 3 belts in 1 year. You know what I mean?
There it is, goals.
Set those goals.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You got this for sure.
And then hopefully, Lennon, after you watching this, hopefully
That's it, Sosa.
we could get you on here next.
Sosa time.
Yeah, we want all the future champs on this platform.
right.
We want to hear their stories. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna end this. Thank you guys for tuning in on Ride the Wave podcast. We see you guys every Friday at 8 a.m. Thank you guys for tuning in. We see you guys on the next one. We love you. Peace.
Peace out. Make sure you subscribe. subscribe.